all you weird, beautiful movie lovers. My name is Louie, aka Movie Fandom, and today we're talking about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I'm gonna, to avoid, also, by the way, to just say, this review will contain spoilers, because I just need to talk about this movie. I really need to, in depth. So if you haven't seen the movie, just click off and go watch the movie for yourself. Trust me, it's worth it. Anyways, the IMDb synopsis for this movie says Miles Morales is catapults across the multiverse, where he encounters a team of spider people charged with protecting its very existence. When the heroes clash on how to handle a new threat, Miles must redefine what it means to be a hero. And that is just to put it lightly. The movie stars Shameik Moore, Haley Seinfeld, Brian Tyree Henry, Luna Lauren Velez, Jake Johnson, Oscar Isaac, Jason Schwartzman, Isa Rae, Daniel Kaluuya, and many, many more. Like, many, many more. Okay, starting off, also just a quick reminder, even though I did say it, spoilers of course, click off if you haven't seen it, trust me, you're definitely going to want to see this movie, if you haven't yet. So this movie has been getting a lot of talk for a while. It's made it at number 15 on the IMDb Top 250. It's made it at number 1 on the Letterboxd Top 250, the highest rated movie on all of Letterboxd. Like, not the highest rated thing on it, with TV shows and some stage plays, but it is definitely the highest rated movie on Letterboxd. For me, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was my favorite animated movie. When I first saw it, I had never seen anything like it before. No one had. And I adored it. From the animation, the characters, its amazing story, the soundtrack. In my opinion, it's a perfect movie for me. It is just perfect. And it was my favorite animated movie. Until I saw this. Because after seeing this movie twice, because I saw this movie twice like a week back, on June 1st, and then went the next day, and I gotta say, this has to be one of the most amazing movies I have ever seen. Because let me just say this, Into the Spider-Verse was in my top 3 favorite movies. And this movie has surpassed that, meaning this is easily my favorite movie of the entire year so far. And if anything else is willing to top it, that could be possibly my favorite movie ever. But why is it? Well, let me tell you why. First off, to get the obvious out of the way, the animation is stunning. Like the movie, Suzume that came out, a while back. Every single frame looks like a painting. Every single frame looks like a work of art. This movie is amazing. From the first 20 minutes alone, we already get different animation styles. Since the movie does start off with Gwen Stacy, and then we see the Vulture from another universe, who's basically in a Da Vinci art style, and looks fantastic. And, of course, we have gone, some pretty bad reviews, I guess, off, let's say, saying it, and one of them saying that, it basically just, doesn't look like a comics, and that is the whole thing, of course, and it looks amazing, and at times it may look better than the one from the comics. I still prefer the one in the comics with how that looks, but it does look fantastic, genuinely fantastic. Not mention the little things we get, those little We got some little, speech bubbles with, well, no, but we do get stuff that looks like, the Lego Movie, which, Lord and Miller, of course, worked on, and it literally just looked like that, because, with the Master Builder stuff, showing what to do with the constructions in your mind, it kind of reminded me of that, and it looks gorgeous. I absolutely loved it. Not mention, it's just gorgeous. Of course with it being gorgeous, but, with the different art styles, my mind was blown with it. And not mention the Lego scene is freaking awesome. It is pretty brief. It is pretty brief. But oh my god, it's amazing. Not mention a 14-year-old animated on that. Which, I gotta say, if you are watching this, congratulations. You are talented. You deserve an award. In fact, every single animator in here deserves an award. If this does not win Best Animated Feature at the Oscars, we all riot. Like with what they did with Encanto. Oh god, that was wrong. Mitchell should have won. But it is genuinely amazing. Not mentioning this so smoothly that I didn't know if it was CG or Lego stop motion, and then it was Lego stop motion, which looks incredible. It looks incredible. Not mention the different art styles looks amazing. One of my favorite, just repeating myself here, one of my favorites was with Indian Spider-Man, who is just awesome. Not mention, the person who plays him, is it, Karan Soni, plays Doppeldeer in the, Deadpool movies. And, if there is not a reference to this movie in Deadpool 3, I really want that. Because that would be pretty hilarious, honestly. Just please, Hollywood, just be the writer so Ryan Reynolds can improvise in that. But really, enough about the animation. You've already heard a lot about the animation, of course, obviously. What about the characters, let's say? The characters are fantastic, if not even better than the first movie. Not mention with Miles, we get a lot more with his family. They're not in the movie a lot, of course, but the time we get a couple of minutes in the beginning with them, and it is perfectly portrayed, and it is amazing. I loved seeing his family dynamic in this movie, with their arguments, with their love, their relationship. It's incredible. I absolutely loved it. Not to mention Brian Tyree Henry does a fantastic job. I loved him in the first movie. He was hilarious. He's even better in this movie. And not to mention with Miles, who is Spider-Man, and is his son, we get a hilarious dynamic that with, maybe you should get off the kid's ass, which I just couldn't help but laugh at that with just how funny it was. Even though it was just brief and is a little quirk, it just is really funny. This movie is well written. I'll get to that later, but yeah. Not mention Gwen Stacy, we get a lot more from her. Haley Steinfeld is incredible in this movie, once again, and is even more better. Genuinely, just so fantastic. Genuinely. I'm not gonna say a lot about her, because I do have less to say about her, but she is just amazing. Not mention Oscar Isaac, who plays Spider-Man 2099, is just amazing. This is one of Oscar Isaac's best performances. Live action, animated, whatever. He is fantastic in here. Genuinely, he fits the character so well that I kind of feel like that is the real Oscar Isaac. I know he's been in other superhero projects, like Midnight and many more, like, X-Men Apocalypse was he in? Right? X-Men Apocalypse? Then X-Men... yeah, X-Men Apocalypse also. He is great in this movie. And also Spock, played by Jason Schwartzman, also from Fantastic Mr. Fox. This is one of the best villains in any movie ever. Genuinely. He starts off as a joke, but when the movie goes on, he becomes more threatening and terrifying. I was even terrified of him, honestly, genuinely. He was genuinely horrifying at times. He's in the movie less than I thought, but oh my god, the setup that we get with him going in the air, preparing to take everything from Miles, as he says, it just has an amazing cliffhanger with it that I will also get to later. It's just so threatening, and the many scenes we get with him, the animation plays along with what he does. It looks phenomenal. He is incredible. Also, Peter B. Parker, who is also very less in the movie, mostly comes at the end of the second act. But from what we get, he's great. And not to mention his own daughter that he now has. Also has a lot of comedy with her and is pretty funny. I'm excited to see more from her. Also, I really like her design, honestly. It looks pretty cute and pretty cool, and it fits with the character. Okay, what about the writing? The writing in here is also amazing. This movie's 140 minutes, and it just stacks so much, and it does it just perfectly, and it sets up for the next movie just amazingly. Genuinely, not mentioned with the family dynamic like I mentioned before, but also with its story and with what Miles has to do. Is he going, because he's an anomaly, he's the anomaly, as Miguel O'Hara says to him. And no, he is not being racist, like one stupid TikToker said. But he knows what he wants him to do, of course, but he can be dangerous, but, no, I'm just speaking, I'm so sorry, but everyone can think he may be dangerous also, but they know he is a good guy, and many more. I love the dynamic with that also. I love that. It is very interesting to me. And I'll mention what he knows what has to happen, but he refuses to let his father die. And not to mention when we see him in another universe where the version of him is supposed to be bit, he becomes the Prowler. And it is just, oh my god. The cliffhanger in here is just possibly the best cliffhanger ever. Screw you, Fast X. This is how you do a cliffhanger right. But genuinely, does an amazing job. It genuinely puts an amazing end to the second act of the story, because this does set up for a new story, but it is the second act of this story. Just like the Dark Knight trilogy, because the Dark Knight sorta ended on a cliffhanger, at least to me anyways, that may have not fully set up for another movie, let's say, but it does get the feeling like there is more coming, and this is the second act of a story. This is the second part of it. And this movie also does it. And I am just so excited for Beyond the Spider-Verse. Also, something I will want to mention is Daniel Kaluuya's character, Hobie Brown, aka Spider-Punk. This is easily my favorite character who has been introduced in this movie. He is so much fun. Daniel Kaluuya, I didn't even recognize him. I didn't know who played him, and I normally know who plays a certain character animated live action at times. And I can recognize Daniel Kaluuya. He is unrecognizable in this movie, genuinely. With Nope, this is easily one of his best performances. I think Nope is a better performance, but in here he plays the better character for me. He is just so much fun, and I also love his art style in here, which looks phenomenal with old newspapers. It just fits the style they're going for, and I can't wait to see more from him in Beyond the Spider-Verse. Overall, while I don't fully have a lot to say, I will say this movie's amazing. From the cameos that we get, and just this being an overall entertaining, well-written, well-made movie that everyone who's involved with it deserves an award. Even people who played additional characters, or maybe someone who just helped with funding, or maybe just even just helped with equipment for this. Everyone deserves an award. Anyone who worked on this movie deserves an award. If anyone here is watching this video of me reviewing it, you deserve an award. And if you worked on the movie, you deserve an award, genuinely. This is 140 minutes of amazingness. This is easily my favorite animated movie, favorite superhero movie, favorite movie of the year so far, and my favorite movie sequel of all time. So far. Possibly. Something can change. We'll just see how the future goes. So overall, if you didn't know, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse easily gets an A+. Genuinely. And even with people who give bad reviews, saying stuff like, Gwen Stacy's hair sucks, the Vulture isn't the Vulture from the comics, this is the worst movie ever, this is the cancer of animation, the 9/11 of animation, which, the 9/11 of animation is just, that is so stupid. Do not say that, genuinely. But genuinely, this movie just is... Genuinely, there's something about this movie that clicks. And I think when Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out, this movie may be even better. And Beyond the Spider-Verse is probably going to be better. And I'm just so excited to see what they do, because they can go above and beyond. And since that is the last of the animated Spider-Verse movies, I just can't wait to see more of Miles, because he's gonna come in live action, apparently, and I'm excited for that. I am a little worried with Shameik Moore playing him in live action, because I don't know, maybe if his look could match Miles, I don't know, I can't always be wary about that, but I think he can do a great job, and I'm so excited to see what happens next. So yeah, that is my thoughts on Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Real quick after this, I am going to have my review for Transformers Rise of the Beasts, and I'm not gonna review the Transformers movies, nor am I gonna continue with the DCEU reviews. I'll continue it after The Flash, but I'm going to review The Flash first, because I was putting way too much work on me, and also not the Wes Anderson movies, but I will review Asteroid City when I get the chance to see it, and maybe the Insidious movies, and possibly the Mission Impossible movies, and maybe the Christopher Nolan movies. And I may review Greta Gerwig's 2 other directorial movies. Maybe just for a bit of fun, maybe. And maybe some TMNT reviews, like maybe review the first movie, or maybe just the trilogy. And I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, those are my thoughts on Across the Spider-Verse. What did you think of the movie? Did you love it or did you hate it? If you hate it, give me good reasons. Sorry, but Genuinely, what did you think about it? Tell me down below in the comments. Comments. And I'll see you next time. Stay awesome.